partner with MWR, and it's none other than Mr. Butch Chalaya. Butch, you there? Hey, buddy.
I am, Brian. I'm super excited. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. Listen, I want to thank you so much. And guys, just so you all know, Butch is the founder CEO of Fundable 360, which is the company that we partnered for. MWR Business Funding will be powered by Fundable 360. Okay, and we're excited to be in this partnership, Butch. You're kind of a little hazy, but you're fine. People can hear you. I know you. He is at an event right this second, getting ready to go into an event. But he's spending time with us right this second. And Butch, what I'm going to have you do, if you don't mind, I've told everybody why we decided we wanted to partner with you. Okay, but I'd love for you to be able to share, one, why you wanted to be involved in business with MWR. And then the other thing I'd like you to do is I'd like you to tell everyone how powerful this program is, the benefits that are available to them as QMDs with MWR, as business owners with MWR, and the people that they can help as well, and just give them kind of an overview of everything. Because here's what I'm going to say. Tonight, we're sharing this information with you, okay? Thursday night, we're going to do a deep dive, okay? Thursday night, Butch is going to be doing a Q&A session with our field force and, whoever is on there to be able to answer questions live in regards to this. But if you can, Butch, just kind of give them the 10,000-foot overview and then why you're so excited to be working here with us with MWR.
Perfect. Brian, can you hear me?
I can.
Everybody, thanks for being patient and allowing us to do this call. I generally would have been in the office when I did this call, but I'm actually at an event supporting another person here tonight. And David's at the same event and Roger's at the same event. So MWR is well represented at this event. So I'm excited to be here. So, Brian, you asked about our relationship or our opinions and why we're excited to work with MWR. I will say this. One, it did take us a year of conversations to get to this, which gave me so much more respect for the due diligence that not only your company did, but the servant leadership that goes into that process of making sure that, we're not just an opportunity to make money, we're an opportunity first to do what's right. And not only what's right for the community, but what's right for the ecosystem and the community of MWR as well. So I'm super proud of that. I will admit it was, I was scratching my head once in a while thinking, wait a second, it just sounds perfect. Why would MWR take us through greatness scrutiny? But I've realized there is a responsibility that comes in when you're leading a charge of people who have entrusted the leadership to make good decisions as stewards of their opportunity. So I just want to congratulate MWR for lack of a better word, candidly on this call, for putting us through the ringer for the last 1 year, just to make sure that we were a good fit for this organization.
Well, I don't think it was that bad, Butch. Did we? But I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, it helps us respect the relationship so much more. And then to answer your question, we've been sideline supporters and witnesses and fans of MWR for a long time. My relationship with Ndamo goes back 20 years. And even before I watched what he was doing in MWR, I've often said this even publicly, if I came back as a better human being and I could be my ideal man, I would want to mirror his likeness, right? Because of the man that he is, the father that he is, the husband that he is. I love and adore his 3 kids. They're amazing human beings. And I've seen the job that he and Gayla have done firsthand. So I don't say this lightly. I've said this on public stages. If I could come back and be a better human, I would be reincarnated as Ndamo Tolson, right? That's just how it is. So, but and then, so I appreciate that. But as I've studied the business opportunity of MWR And I'm not new to affiliate marketing. I'm not new to network marketing. I'm not new to consulting for a lot of these organizations. I will say this, and I will say this in front of any organization. The opportunity presented with MWR, the audacity to offer a money back guarantee, the claim to be able to say you will be made whole in the first month of being in business or your money back, and then being able to back it up, to have one of the most robust, in fact, the most robust compensation plan that I think I've ever seen, and filter so much of the revenues back to the organization and create daily pays to an infinite level. I say infinite because $15,000 a day is, it'd be okay to make 5.47 million a year on a passive cycle, right? So when you can back it up, and I'll say this, to have a 7-year history and never have a claim of ever having missed a payment when you're doing a daily pay cycle to an organization, if that doesn't just blow anyone away with the legitimacy of this operation, of this opportunity, for less than $2,000 all in, to not only have the ability to be called a business owner, then not to be in business by yourself, but for yourself, but to be able to collaborate within the expertise of all the people that are coming into the ecosystem as providers, to have the best trust management, to have the best access to financial and wealth planning, to have the best tax strategies, and now to have the best funding abilities, to have the most proprietary access to precious metals that has never been done in its space before. I don't even know if all of that really sinks in all at once, right? This is by far, we could speak for 4 more hours and probably not do justice to how amazing this opportunity is. So I'm excited to be a part of it. Thank you for the invite.
Butch, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Listen, I could let you go on for 4 more hours about it. I was loving all that, but let's get into, the business funding. Let's talk about it, okay? Because you and I have had a lot of discussions. You knew what a lot of my concerns were. You heard about all the things I just said, the horror stories and the people that have gotten burnt with business funding. And there were a lot of things that you did that were so much different. And so if you can kind of just touch on that, and one, I've got a slide thing, but I'm not going to pull that up. I'm gonna let you go through it, and then I'll run through it quickly afterwards, just to kind of recap on this stuff.
Well, let's just be as transparent as we could. How transparent and candid can I be right now?
Yeah, these are like family, so you be as transparent 100%. As you want to be.
Perfect. So let's talk about Fundable 360 and what makes us different. Well, let's talk about the motivations as to why we even started this company. The reality is this. I grew up in that household where we didn't have family dinners. There was a rare, I don't remember one opportunity where my entire family sat at the same time and had dinner. It's whoever had access to food got to eat it. That's the household I grew up in, right? So we didn't have wealth planning strategies around the dinner table. No one came by and talked about real estate investing and ownership and taxes and legacy. The conversations were more, what utility bill could we skip this month with the least amount of consequences? That's the household I grew up in. So that's number one. So we were told to work hard. But as Mike Randolph said at the beginning of this call, working hard alone is difficult to play catch up when you don't get into a level playing field to begin with, right? So for those of us who didn't have traditional paths to go to a good college and have guaranteed employment coming out of that, we had to do things a different way. So the motivation to create stimulus programs to allow most people to play catch up so that we can start to play at a level playing field. That was the one motivation that allowed us to start this company. Number two, and we're going to talk about this as one of the key points. I remember, number one, well, let's just start with this. The catastrophic effect of the pandemic, no one on this phone call saw that coming. And if anybody had a hint of that was going to happen, no one on this phone call had any inclination to how long the effects of that would last. So in doing so, it destroyed plenty of industries. I lost 2 companies in the process, and it was painful. I had to shut down operations. I had to let employees go. But here's what happened. Even though I couldn't operate those two companies, I was still left holding the bag for the financial obligations that I had to those companies, right? So for those of you who are struggling to go back home and sell your spouse the dream on why you're joining MWR and you think it's going to take you to the promised land, try going back and telling your spouse you had to shut two companies down, but continue to make payments on businesses that no longer produce a revenue, right? That's a tough sell, but we had to do that. So when we created Fundable 360, we wanted to make sure a couple of things happened. One, we created a program that could take anyone from startup to run up, right? So whether you were brand new trying to be an entrepreneur, or you were a seasoned company, you were the same to us. We were going to give you an equal opportunity to succeed, and we were going to hold your hand through the whole concierge process. Number two, no personal guarantees. And no personal guarantees doesn't mean no responsibility. It just means that if catastrophic events happen, life happens, and you have to make sure that you can pivot and keep running and protect your assets without having to have personal liability. That was huge for us. And I'm going to tell you this. It's not so we can avoid paying our bills. That's not the reason for no personal guarantee. But if the government says an EIN needs to be treated like a person, then why do we need to have another person be guarantor for the first? So that's our logic. So our program is structured to make sure that we separate EIN from SSN. And we build out the EIN profile to be able to have its own credibility, its own fundability, to be able to have access to lending without putting the SSN in any liability, exposure, or harm. So those are the two programs we're talking about. A full concierge system. And as Brian mentioned, there's no predatory lending or rates. Everything we do is a straight pass-through from the banks. So if you're approved by a certain bank for a certain rate, it's the same rate that they're offering their in-house business clients, they're offered to our clients, right? We're gonna kill this market with kindness and credibility. We don't need to take advantage of anybody because we're not a smash and grab. We're here for the long haul. But when you see the training on Thursday and you have a chance to come in and ask me any question you want, we are going to have a candid, transparent meeting. You're going to be able to bring all of your questions to the table. We're going to address all of that because the quicker we can get you to wrap your head around this, the quicker we can explode the opportunity. And I will share this with you. When you sink your teeth in this, you will realize that not only you have the right leadership, not only are you at the right place, and not only are you at the right time, but you're surrounded by the right people alongside you as well that care about you and your company. And we're fortunate to be a part of the organization again. Thank you for welcoming us to the family. This is a great dinner table. We're excited to have a space. We're excited to have a spot. And we'll see you guys all at the top.
I love it. I love it. Butch, listen, I'm going to hold you one more second, okay?
Of course.
Because here's what I'm going to do. Shana, if you don't mind, pull up the PowerPoint that I did. Guys, we threw this together quickly because I'm going to give them the highlights of this thing in about 3 minutes, okay? And then if you want to add anything to it, just jump in. But these are all based on our conversations. We put together a little PowerPoint today that has bullet points on it. So, Shana, if you don't mind, if you can pull up that PowerPoint, I would greatly appreciate it. All right, let's start from the beginning here. I'm going to walk you through the process, first of all, okay? And this is going to be very quick, and this is going to be small too. So, but Shana, just click through them, and I'm going to run through them as quick as possible. As you hear me finish one, start the next one. But here's what I'm going to tell you. With MWR Business Funding, the process is this. You're going to be able to identify or create business owners that are seeking funds. Why did I say create? We all know there are business owners out there, but when I talk about creating, you have an MWR business. You have a business. Once we help you get an EIN, now you have a business that is fundable, okay, if you go through this program.
That's
so
right.
We're able to create business owners seeking funds. Okay. Now, Once you have identified a business owner or created one, you're going to introduce them to MWR's biz funding and schedule their appointment. I'm going to talk to you about that in just a second. But once you schedule the appointment, our biz funding experts, they're taking over. You're done. You're done. They're going to explain the entire program to whoever that business owner is. They're going to help enroll them and get them set up into the program. And once they enroll them, then you can keep going, Shana. Okay. You're going to get paid for every enrolled referral. So you literally are going to get paid to refer someone to let them do the work. Now, once they pay and they're enrolled, the experts take over and help them do everything. They're going to make sure their business is structured properly. They're going to help them establish trade lines. They're going to help them do everything that is necessary to get them fundable for business. Okay? So that's how that's going to work. Now, here's the great part about it. For every business funding client you refer, you're going to receive a business funding referral bonus of $400. Okay? Now, on top of that, your sponsor, whoever brought you into the business, MWR, is going to receive a 25% check match. They're going to receive $100. And we're going to pay out a business funding legacy bonus, the same as our regular legacy bonuses for all 3-star executive directors and above, that pays out through unlimited levels of $30 up to $150. Okay? Powerful stuff. You must be an active QMD in good standing to receive MWR revenue sharing bonuses. QMDs may market MWR business funding to anyone inside or outside of the MWR membership network. I'll tell you why that's so important in just a second. MWR membership is recommended, but not required to participate in the MWR business funding program. Now, QMDs that are looking for their own business funding, you're able to refer yourself for business funding through your site that we're going to talk about in a second, and you're going to receive the business funding bonuses to reduce your cost. So that $400 comes to you, which is going to reduce your cost to participate in business funding. All right. Now, here are the benefits. For MWR QMDs, we've now just created an additional stream of income outside and inside of MWR. You have to be a qualified marketing director to get paid off of this program. Ability, this gives you the ability to use OPM. I use OPM. I don't like that word. David doesn't like it either, Ren. So we're going to eliminate that. But you're going to be able to use business funding to accelerate asset and wealth accumulation. All right. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. This is also a door opener to attract business owners to MWR. Guys, I don't know if you realize this or not, but everything we do in MWR applies to business owners as much as it does consumers.
Right.
Okay. Now, for MWR members, I told you, you're going to have free business LLC EIN assistant through MWR's tax experts. You're going to have, again, the ability to use business funding to accelerate asset and wealth accumulation. For business owners, here's the points I want to get across. This company guarantees funding of $50,000 or more, okay? Personal credit is not a factor. Startups with no revenue or established businesses, both are accepted. Keep going. No collateral, personal property guarantees. Butch touched on that. Funding could be used for any reason. You are not required to say, I'm using it for inventory, or I'm using it for expansion, or I'm using it for anything else business related. You can use it for whatever you want to use it for. Once approved, there is no need to apply again for additional funding, meaning that as long as you take care of the loan you are given or the funding that you're giving, you're going to have the ability to increase your funding ability. Okay, or fundability, as Butch says, fundability. Now, again, I already told you this. It's a flat rate fee to participate without high interest rate fee, high interest rates, huge upfront percentage-based fees, or daily or weekly payments that can hurt your business's cash flow. This is not MCA funding. One of the things I love about Butch and his company is that they are literally handling a lot of the underwriting responsibility for over 400 banks and financial lenders across the country. The top 400 banks and financial institutions across the country, to where when they say you are ready to go, those banks accept it. All right. That is a big, big deal. Now, here's how this is going to roll out, because I want to get to our next speaker and I want to finish up with Butch. On April 15th, you will have your new MWR business funding self-replicated marketing site. So that's going to launch. Your site will track and allow you, excuse me, to schedule all business funding appointments by you or the businesses that you shared this site with back to your MWR site ID. So anybody that submits for an appointment on your site, or that you submit on your site for an appointment for business funding, and let the experts take over from there, okay, it's all tracked back to you. Even if that business refers someone else, they're able to say that came from this qualified marketing director, that you will get the commission for the referral, even though you may not have even known who they are. Okay. Tracking and status of all submissions will be available via your MWR Biz Center. Okay. So you'll know what's going on every step of the process with the experts. They'll let you know when it's in process, when they've completed the first call, the initial call, when they have completed the appointment, when they have enrolled the client. Once you see that, you know you are eligible to start receiving payment. Okay. Now, on April 16th, the reason we're doing this, I've already touched on this. MWR's tax experts will assist any MWR QMD with setting up their business or LLC if they do not already have one and they are ready to proceed with business funding. This service of setting up the LLC or EIN is free to MWR members. Okay, so that's another added value in our membership, excluding any state filing fees, which typically range anywhere between $30 to $300, depending on what your state that you live in. Our experts will assist you and walk you through and help you complete the entire process, which is very simple. Many of you will be able to do this before April 15th without even using our experts. Okay, so, but if you need assistance after April 16th, you will be able to get that assistance. Okay. Reason it's April 16th, guys, tax season's happening. Our tax experts are swamped until April 15th, preparing taxes for many of our members as part of their membership. Okay. Now, appointments with this will be done via your MWR membership portal. Do not call the tax hotline for this service. Okay. You'll need to schedule an appointment to be able to go through and complete getting your LLC and your EIN. On May 10th, the first business funding bonuses will pay out on all business funding clients enrolled and paid for before April 30th. Okay. And I think I got that right, Butch. I think that's correct. So anything you want to add to that, Butch?
No, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. You covered it well, Brian. Thank you so much for going through and putting that all in an organized fashion. We're excited for this. It kind of feels a little weird because I just heard some life-changing opportunities between what you started with and hopefully what we bring to the table. And yet I'm in some dark alley here, kind of, but hey, it just tells, be it, there's a 5-star restaurant that the event is going on. I just happen to be like in an alley parking lot, so I could be clear. But I'm looking around this going, this is going to make an amazing story someday because, we just hopefully put another notch on the MWR opportunity to as good as it already was. And hopefully we can help take it to the next level. And I'm doing it in a shady parking lot.
I love it.
Here, yeah.
Well, listen, hey, no, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody getting to meet you guys. You're going to love Butch. You're going to love him, his team, top notch. The communication between them and the people you refer will be absolutely amazing. Okay. And so we're excited about all that. But Butch, thank you so much. And guys, Thursday night, plug in. Okay. Pay attention, because Butch is going to break down things a lot more for you and give you a lot better understanding. And be thinking of your questions, because Butch is going to do a live Q&A. And I will tell you, somebody is confident about what they can do in their program when they're willing to do a live Q&A. Okay. And I love that, Butch. So thank you very much. And Butch, I'm going to do something. I'm going to let you go, because I know you're itching to get into the event. And then I'm going to pull somebody else on that I know is also getting ready to go into this event. I wish I was there with you guys. I'd like to go in myself. But at the same time, thank you so much, Butch. We appreciate you.
Likewise, Chairman. I appreciate everybody too. Thank you so much.
All right, great. Okay, guys, listen, next person I'm going to bring up, and then we're going to close this thing out. Okay. You guys already know what's getting ready to happen with our precious metals. And when you put this program with precious metals, an asset that appreciates in value, that with our leasing contracts that are coming that can produce monthly returns for you, guys, it's an absolute no-brainer. It is the biggest no-brainer in wealth creation I've ever seen. I will tell you this. I've made it clear to my family. I like real estate. I like other investments that produce cash flow and stuff. I love all those things. But here's what I'm going to tell you. I've never seen a more passive way to be able to create life-changing revenue, legacy, and asset accumulation in a perpetual manner than what we're seeing right here. Okay. And the fact that we have now made it with business funding to where everybody from the start, when they get in MWR, can immediately put themselves in a position to where they can obtain business funding. And when we're ready to pull the trigger, they're able to purchase precious metals, enter into contracts, leasing contracts, and start getting paid off of that immediately using borrowed money, using business funding, using the bank's money to be able to do it. So with that, I'm going to bring on somebody you already know, somebody you already love. I know you guys are already starting to purchase a bunch of precious metals. Keep doing that. Keep stacking them up because this is coming. And I'm going to let the man himself come on and tell you, how he feels about this and what he sees coming in the future here for us. But that's none other than Mr. David Wren. David, you there, buddy? There he is.
Hey, Brian, how you doing? Sorry about it. It's getting a little, like Rich was saying, it's getting a little dark here. But
it's okay.
If you notice something, Butch had a jacket on, a sports jacket, right?
Right.
I have my daggone golf shirt and my daggone hat, my baseball cap, so you could tell who got the last, they got the last announcement or the memo on, hey, where we're going tonight. Right. I tell you, boy, my friends, they just, didn't tell me anything. At the last minute, they dragged me out here and say, oh, we're going to an event. Oh, wow,
they
thanks.
Hung you out to dry.
Man, they did.
I love it. Well, fill us in, man. What do you got for us tonight?
What Butch and what 360 is bringing to MWR is a critical piece. And I would like to kind of refer it to like Formula One racing. In Formula One racing, there's something called DRS, the drag resistance system. What that does is that allows you to catch up to the car that's in front of you, to get the momentum from the car that's in front of you to pass it. And what Butch is doing is exactly a DRS, a financial DRS. He's giving you the capital access and the capital currency to be able to now take that capital currency and acquire real money that now will be able to give you back, being able to service the loan without a cost to you and continue to build your wealth that you and your family will be the beneficiaries of forever. So then when you do that with this DRS system that gets you more money, now you can build a winning financial race car, a championship car that wins forever. You know, Mike had said it, you know, we need to catch up. Well, with Butch's funding program, you're able to get the cash. Once you get the cash, you have to convert the cash into a form of money. Now, once you have the precious metals as a form of money, now you can create debt. That's what the leveraging program does, and it pays you from that. Now you service the overall loan without a cost to you. So how about this? You get a loan that your other assets are going to pay for you. And then once that loan is paid off, guess what happens to the overall servicing of the debt? You don't have to service it anymore. Now all of the influxes, the interest that's gained off of yours is profitability for you and your family to generate more wealth. It's really something that is critically missing in the financial world for the everyday person that's being used with the drag resistance. They're the ones that providing the drag and resistance to creating wealth. Now that DRS system can work for you, and that will momentumize you and your family for forever, for perpetuity. This is a really a must, and I'm glad that MWR is having this overall membership opportunity, because now you are actually market makers, because you are doing exactly what the market has been doing and will be doing if you participate in it or not. So you might as well participate it in a position of advantage for you and your family. It's so easy. I'm so thankful to Butch, so thankful to you, so thankful to Dom, to Roger, to our whole team, because this is what's really going to bring about the overall collective prudence that everyone can really win with this. And that's what this is really about. It's enough for everybody, and everyone will get a chance at it. And I will tell you, last point, the market doesn't care if you're in it or out of it. Just like as we move into this market, we won't care if the market goes up or if the market goes down. We'll win either way. The market is not trying to exclude you. But what the market does is it doesn't teach you, it doesn't educate you on the proper path to creating wealth. This is the proper path and sequence to creating wealth. And I'm just so happy for our group collectively.
I love it. And David, I got to give you a ton of credit, because here's one thing I want to mention, David, that I think is extremely important. If it wasn't for our relationship and what we're doing with the precious metals, I never would have introduced business funding to MWR members. And I'm going to say this, and I don't mean this to sound condescending in any way, but I realize that if you do not have a vehicle that people can take the money that they're borrowing and put it in to produce more money than what it's costing them to borrow that money, a lot of people will do stupid things with it, David.
Right.
If they have access to business funding and they don't have any place to put it, or they have to wait on a real estate deal, or they're trying to do real estate or other things, because I'm all for borrowing money, guys, or using other people's money if you're putting it into an income producing asset that can produce higher returns than what you're paying on the money. I'm all for that. But I don't want to provide funding for people that are going to go out and they get business funding and they say, ooh, I've got all this money. Let me go buy that new car I wanted. Let me go get that living room furniture that I always wanted. That Gucci purse, I can now get it. You do that, and you are making the biggest financial mistake of your life. Do not blame MWR for it. Do not blame Butch for it. Do not blame David for it. Do not blame any of us for it. That is financial illiteracy at its best. All of this is designed to help you accumulate and build wealth. That's what it is. If you're using it for something else or something stupid, that's on you, because we're giving you the right path. We're giving you the right path. And it is a path that I am not just preaching. It is one that I will follow myself, just so you know. Okay. So with that, David, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it. And it's getting so
Definitely.
dark there, I can't even see you hardly.
Yeah. Well said, Brian. And I know that sentiment that you have is so true, because Brian and myself and even Butch, we never want to engage in the financial poison pill. We're not trying to build consumers. We're trying to build wealth producing people in leadership that is able to now have a form of prosperity that they can pass down for those that they've yet not named in their family. So true, Brian. I know that you're sincere to that. We're not looking for that overall poison pill. So well said, Brian.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, David, listen, I'm going to let you run. I appreciate you so much for being here, David. Thank you. And guys,
appreciate you.
This out real quick. Thank you, buddy. Guys, I'm going to close this out real quick. You've just heard what I believe is the most powerful combination to be able to create wealth that I've ever seen in my life. And I've been in this industry for over 30 years, not the network. I'm talking the financial industry. Okay. And for something like this to come together, things that typically only institutions have been able to participate in, that we have been blessed enough to be able to make it available to the average American, the average person out there can now participate in the same things that banks and financial institutions are participating in and create wealth that can last for generations to come, okay? While still being able to support your current and your future lifestyle. That's what excites me the most. So this is the biggest accelerator that I've ever seen. But I'm going to put some disclaimers on here, okay? And not really disclaimers. I'm gonna paint a picture for you real quick, okay? What I love about what we're doing is that there are a lot of things floating around out there. You've heard me talk about crypto. You've heard me talk about Forex. You've heard me talk about options and stocks and all those things. Let me tell you what none of those things are. None of those things are tangible assets. I like real estate. I like precious metals. I like things that I can touch, that I can hold, that historically appreciate in value, and that I can end up leveraging to create cash flow from, monthly cash flow. That's what we put into place. Now, I told you all at the beginning when Mike said something about no risk. I'm going to paint you a picture. You get involved in MWR. You participate in our business funding. One, it's guaranteed. If you do not get the funding, they give you your money back, okay? 50,000 or more in funding, or they give you your money back. That's number one. Same as MWR. MWR, if we can't help you save or make more money than what it cost you to participate, we will give you, in your first 30 days, we will give you a full refund. We're going to either help you keep more of the money you make or save more money, or we're going to give you your money back. So you've got companies that are standing behind what they offer. Huge, huge deal. Okay. But when I'm talking about no risk, here's the picture I'm going to paint you. I just eliminate a risk with guarantees. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Let's say you get in and you participate in business funding. And you take that business funding and you purchase precious metals through our precious metal provider. And you then enter into contracts. And those contracts are paying you a monthly return of, let's say, this is hypothetical, but this is what the projection is, 1.5% to 5% per month. But yet you borrowed money over here at 5, 6, 7%. Let's just say 6%, 5.99. Okay, 5.99. Well, even if you were earning 1.5% on a leasing contract per month, that's 18% per year, and you're paying 6% over here. That's a 12% difference that you get to pocket. 12% difference plus the appreciation of the precious metal, and you use someone else's money instead of your own. Now, let me paint the bleakest picture for you that I possibly can. Let's say contracts went away. Oh my goodness. They're not doing leasing contracts anymore. Even though they've been doing them for decades, you just couldn't participate. Okay. But let's say they're not doing precious metals leasing contracts anymore. I'm not making that return on it. but I made it for a year or 2 or 3 years. Okay. Now I don't look for any of this to happen. I'm painting you the bleakest picture I can think of. You've been paying on a loan with the lease payments that you've made. You've brought that loan down, but now you have a precious metal that appreciated an asset. God forbid you had to sell off, which we don't ever want to sell our precious metals. We want to leverage them. Leverage them. Listen to me. Leverage them. Okay? It's no different than real estate. I want to go borrow money. I borrow it against a piece of real estate, and then I can end up writing it off. I get to take advantage of the depreciation. I get all the benefits of it. Okay? But you leverage those precious metals. But let's say you ended up having to sell off those precious metals. You eliminated the risk of defaulting on a loan because you have a tangible asset that you purchased with it that will cover the loan, even though you didn't even have to use it as collateral. There is no risk if you follow the process that we are putting in place. You cannot lose money unless you do something stupid with them. And I hate using the word stupid, but I've got to be emphatic about this. Unless you do something crazy with the money that you're borrowing, other than investing in something that is going to pay you more than what it cost. Okay. I hope you guys get that. Now, here's the last thing I'm going to say. We've got a lot of people that are watching this. Okay. I've already told you about our guarantees, about our guarantees with our business funding, all of that stuff. So there's no risk to you. But here's what I'm going to say to you. You're going to run into people out there right now. This economy is pretty tough. I already told you 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. They're worried about inflation instead of worrying about the solution. And here's what I'm going to say. If $249.97 to get started in MWR is a problem for anybody watching this video right now, whether it's live or whether it's a replay, if that's a problem for you, somebody needs to tell you what you're doing is not working and you need to do something different. And we have a way to help you remedy that challenge, a better way than anything else that I've ever seen. Not because I'm the CEO and co-founder of this company. I'm not saying it because of that. I say it because I believe it and I know it, and I have tens of thousands of testimonies to prove it. Okay? To prove that we can help you do better and provide you with a team of experts that are going to make such a dramatic difference in your life you won't even know what happened to you. Okay? And they do the work. They do the work. You just plug in. They do the work. Now, here's the other thing I'm going to tell you. There's a fee to participate in our business funding. It's not a huge fee, but some of you are going to look at it and go, oh, I don't have the money to come up with that. Here's what I'm going to tell you, and it's not a huge fee, so you'll find out on Thursday. So we're just going to leave it at that because I'm not going to tell you right now. But here's what I'm going to say. In regards to our membership or our business opportunity for $249.97, in regards to participating in our business funding, if you're between the ages of 21 to 85, 90 years old, the gamut, 21 or older, and you cannot come up with the money to do something to change your life like what we're talking about with not a fly-by-night company, not a company that just popped up and is going to be gone tomorrow, but a company with a 7-year track record, tens of thousands of testimonies, people that have already created millionaire statuses with this company. If you can't come up with the money to do that, not only are you doing or what you're doing isn't working for you, but I want you to understand this. If you don't do something about it, you are choosing to be broke. You are choosing to be miserable. You're choosing not to have the life that you want for your family, for your children. You're choosing not to leave a legacy for them because you were unwilling to do something that would allow you to turn that whole thing around for you and your entire family for generations to come. There's nobody to blame but you. And I know that's a harsh truth and a harsh reality, but somebody needs to say it, because I will tell you, there are too many people in this world that want to blame their challenges on everybody else instead of looking in the mirror. Tonight, I want you to look in the mirror. I want you to look in the mirror, and I want you to know you are worthy and deserving and great enough to do whatever you want to do in life. And we just provided you with the vehicle to make every goal or dream you have an absolute reality. With that said, guys, I appreciate you all being on here for this announcement tonight. Love you all. And I can't wait for Thursday night as Butch dives deeper into this. We're going to be having a lot of information that's going to be coming out. So pay close attention to MWRtelegram.com. We didn't play a video tonight, but we're going to put it up in MWR Telegram tonight. We'll make sure we put it up tonight. So if you're not on Telegram, go to MWRtelegram.com to be able to get on there, and you'll be able to see the video that you'll be able to use to be able to market this starting tonight. We'll have it to you in the next 15 minutes. So guys, with that, have a great night. Have a great rest of the week. And let's go knock it out of the park. And we'll see all of you on Thursday. Bye, guys.